And welcome viewers to the weekly Wednesday live stream. Thanks for tuning in. Give us a couple minutes here. We'll be right back with you. In the meantime, here's some SDO browse data imagery. We'll be right back, 2 to 3 minutes. So we don't always do a proper news crawl on the weekly Wednesday live streams. Today I think we're going to do a proper news crawl in that I'm not exactly sure what we'll be covering. So if you've got smart ideas or even dumb ideas, let us know what they are in the comments section and we might cover it. Even if you're viewing Memorex instead of live. Now, we do have a tradition of visiting the Twitter page. So let's start out there. And allow me to vanish. By the way, that track's called Conclusivity. More on that later in the video. Let's go back a week in Twitter world. By the way, if you're not on Twitter, well, why not? Get on Twitter. Anyway, there's last week's live stream thumbnail. We broadcasted from the core of the Milky Way galaxy. Shout out to Nay B. Anyway, we typically put out a post, a tweet, if you will, on Twitter before going live. Let's handle any comments that may have happened live. Let's see what happened in notifications. Smash staff liked and retweeted. All right, let's go back. So anyway, twitter.com/smashomash. Again, if you're not on Twitter, you may think that it sucks, and it may indeed suck. But nonetheless, you may want to get on Twitter. It's just because there's exclusive content on all the different websites, and Twitter is one of them. Yes, we don't intend to talk like a sociopath or get banned. All right, so, by the way, also for you new viewers out there, we have reduced our solar forecasting to be doing it only on smashomash.com/smashteam. So there was the X-flare before it was even clear if it had peaked on the 28th. I just happened to be on it. You know, it happens to be one half luck and one half knowing what to look at. So I did retweet Tamitha Scove's NOAA forecast. NOAA or NASA, whichever one that is. And if you want to learn more about that, go ahead and watch our daily space weather videos. I think there may be some inaccuracies in that a CME on the far side of the sun was modeled as if it was on this side of the sun. That's all. It happens. It happened recently, actually. Some great imagery there from Space Weather Live. Some great aurora imagery. And also, if you're on Facebook, please share our posts on groups, as we are banned from posting to groups, which has led to some unfortunate type of posts. Mainly unfortunate for Facebook, I think. And Facebook's censorship is part of the reason why smAsho got created in the first place. So on one hand, you have to give them the finger. On the other hand, you have to thank them for providing the incentive to create your own servers. You know, one of the problems that people don't realize is, in order to make Earth not suck again, you have to do your part, which is why we did our part, created all kinds of servers and massive infrastructure for all of you to go and interact on, right? So we've got smashomash.com/forum, as well as the Smash Team website. Check those out. There is a bronze membership level at smashomash.com/smashteam, as well as silver and gold paid levels. There's an annual paid up option, which is the best value. It's worth about $40, and it's $9.99 per month at the gold level, $2.99 per month at the silver level. More details there thanks to Smash staff at smashomash.com/smashteam. The only spot you'll be seeing coronal mass ejection forecasts. When we realized that we were forecasting coronal mass ejections before they left the solar corona, I figured I better do that. Although, due to lack of incentive to do it on places like YouTube, we've essentially quit forecasting coronal mass ejections on YouTube. That's all. So, but the Smash team will still continue to get more information than you'll see on social media, period. By the way, Kelly Stavast, however you pronounce it, is a legend. Because let's just say that Brandon has requested thanks from all the other Brandons. Because let's go them, there's a lot of encouragement for all the Brandons. So while I wouldn't say such a thing, it's my goodness graciousness. Good, it's enough to make you say, "Oh my God." Oh my goodness graciousness. And let me put your chats up. Oh, we've got 2 comments. Make those a little larger. There we go. And let's get back to the Twitter feed. I've got a bunch of windows open here that I don't want. All right, that's okay, though. Check out this tornado pic. This is a proper winding rope style tornado. Quite spectacular indeed. From 2018 in Colorado. So not recently was that a thing. I apologize for the scrolling. All right, there we go. That's only 17 hours old, folks, so. And of course, to see the most recent tweets about self-destructing big tech and things like that. What about zombie corporations with nobody at the wheel driving along the road trying to run you over? What about that? Zombie bureaucracies who can't get out of their own way and are trying to decide policy for you. What do you think about that? I understand there's a lot of people that are a little bit on the done side. So believe me, I can completely understand the reasoning because I am so done. That's why the word resignation graces the title of this video. As I've had to get out of a world of corporate nonsense, circular logic, and the inability to follow their own rules. Oops. The employee handbook looked nice until it was not followed by the employees. Then it became less tolerable. Anyway, seriously, if you're not on Twitter, I don't know. Okay, let's do a plug. Let's do a Facebook plug. No, just kidding, folks. We're not going to bump Facebook off. We're just going to show you the Facebook page, which is facebook.com/smAsho. If you haven't seen that, please repost because we're not allowed to post in groups. Yes, I've got 2 accounts because my old Facebook account reached 5,000 friends. So I had to create another one. It's the only way to continue gaining more friends on Facebook. And yeah, whatever Facebook. So for whatever reason, we haven't been doing anything differently. All of a sudden, banned from posting to groups. So please go post in every group in the universe. And once again, I would say to all of our viewers, Universum Liberate. You'll find all kinds of deals about Redbubble stuff and so on. Another tradition that we have when it comes to our Wednesday streams is to go to, are you ready? Are you ready for it? Are you ready? All right, here we go. CBS News. Yeah, CBS News. It's a tradition. Before we do that, let's take a look at this recent prominence that's going on. This section is dedicated to all of you stargazers, all of you spaced out viewers. Let's put your comments on the screen here. Once again, thanks for leaving comments. So yeah, check out this prominence we have up here in the Northwest. It's pretty all right. I mean, I would give it 8.3. 8.3. By the way, we'll be doing a beverage tour throughout the video. And yeah, talking about different abbreviations, all those alphabet soups. And thanks for bringing up Phonama Nachmana. Nachname. Anyway, it's enough to make you want to break out the Yingling Premium. Or not. You may want to break out the club soda. Who knows? Maybe a homemade electrolyte beverage. So let's bring up the homemade electrolyte beverage. It's quite simple. It's quite simple, really. You put a pinch of salt. You add a little bit of salt until it's about as salty as Gatorade. And then you add some lemon or lime juice, preferably from a fresh lemon or lime, or both. And there you have it, homemade electrolyte beverage. The sodium citrate in the, I believe it's the oils of the lime peel especially, increase the effective surface area and water absorption in your stomach. Yes, it puts your hydration on steroids. By the way, if you like to say, look, the sun's behaving like it's on steroids. All this activity is the quiet sun on steroids. Please stop with the on steroids. I hate the on steroids reference. Anyway, yeah, lose all the verbal cliches. Just do it. Here at the Smash News Network, we prefer that you would have good taste and not surround yourself with what we call crap. To quote James Rolfe, and this is going to have to be a paraphrased quote, when it comes to excrement, you've got poop, and then you've got shit, and you have crap. Crap is like somewhere in between poop and shit, I think. And then you have feces. I mean, that's got to be the worst term of all. And it's not even a curse word. I mean, think about that. What is up with verbal conventions? I mean, you have poop. That's pretty innocuous, right? Unless you come in contact with it, then it's not any more innocuous, is it? Then you've got crap. Crap is like what they would say on the A-Team in the 1980s. And then you've got shit. And that's like a curse word that your parents may or may not let you say. And then you've got feces. Feces. Ah! All right. Now that I got that out of my system. By the way, my neck has been jacked up for like a week. Not for any freaking good reason. I think it's like an old shoulder injury or something. Anyway, continuing on. Go back to this. This nice light casting object that the Earth orbits. Which, should I reiterate, that's probably not going to kill you. You probably shouldn't be too frightened that it's going to kill you. That seems ridiculous. But anyway. Okay. Yes, the thing about the internet is that the internet cannot be broken by big tech corporations. While you may expect to retain your hegemony, your rulership of the digital airwaves, it's not going to work, because people will never fully put up with a Soviet stale state of Soviet propaganda. It's just not going to work. It's not going to work. And while I forecasted that the Donald Trump presidency would result in the most hilarious times of the last 20 years, the current political environment, with all this Brandon encouragement and so on, is even more hilarious than it was in 2016. And it was hilarious in 2016. Absolutely mind-bogglingly hilarious. I mean, it was unbelievable. It was a thing you could never have seen coming. But it got even funnier this year. I mean, look, there's been a lot of giant bureaucracies who've demonstrated their ineptitude, their lack of skill, their ineffectiveness, their ability to cause harm and not good, and claim that the harm caused is for your own good. And so, of course, we've called for accountability the entire time. Anyway, speaking of accountability, jeez. The Solar Dynamics Observatory's got accountability. Check it out. We got major filaments. This is the last about 2 days now at this point. And we're going to go straight from here to, check it out. Here we go, cbsnews.com. Here's their header of death, 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 death. Do I want to continue? I'm just going to press refresh. I don't respond to these pop-up spam messages. Let's play a clip.
And he made, personally, Tanya, I wouldn't mind if people making $200,000-300,000 paid a little more in taxes.
Son of a. I like the way it started out mid-sentence. Representative Andy Levin discusses election results. That and more on their giant header. Oh my God, it returned like it's returning from the dead. It's a zombie header, folks. It's not just a zombie corporation. It's also got a zombie header. You got to love it. 2021 election results. CBS News projects Glenn Youngkin wins Virginia governor's race. Holy cripes, he was driving 150 some miles an hour? Yowzers. Not the new governor of Virginia, no. And there are a bunch of stories here that I'm basically unwilling to cover. Hey, what a surprise. The CDC recommends Pfizer vaccine for kids ages 5 to 12. You're welcome. By the way, this COVID message brought to you by Pfizer. Ask your doctor about Pfizer. Folks, you may never know that you have a condition until you ask a doctor about a drug, because all kinds of things might be a symptom. Who knows? You might be qualified to take all kinds of crazy drugs that do all kinds of crazy things and have weird side effects like leprosy and inverted penis syndrome. Please leave us a comment. Every time I cough on COVID, it always goes away. Leave us a comment if you've ever suffered from inverted penis syndrome. Yeah, it's pretty uncommon, I guess, but apparently it's a thing. So yeah. And if you don't know about that, make sure you Google it over and over again and use the world's two largest search engines, Google and YouTube, which is also owned by Google. Anyway, getting back to the original fake news, cbsnews.com. Let's see what their headline is. We're going to go past the header, and we're just going to read the biggest headline, which is, oh my God, look at that. It came back like a zombie corporation with nobody at the wheel. So I guess that is the biggest headline. 2021 election results. CBS News projects Glenn Youngkin wins Virginia governor's race. Let's go to HuffPo. Let's see what HuffPost has to say about it. Yikes. January 6 attendees are winning elections. I'm sure this is objective. This is objective. Listen, Ariana texted me just this morning and told me that this is entirely objective. House Democrats add paid leave bill to Build Back Better Act, move toward vote, and walk around with a mask on. You know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to leave HuffPost for a minute and take a little aside. As far as what this is, you'll just have to look at what's on the screen, and I'm going to talk about stamp collecting. How many of you have engaged in stamp collecting? Stamp collecting's fun. Here's something I'd like to see printed on a stamp. These graphs. Look how effective masks were in Austria. What about in Belgium? Those masks were pretty effective in Belgium, weren't they? How about in France? Mask effectiveness. swprs.org. Germany. Ireland, masks versus cases. There's where they required masks. There's where the cases went. How about Italy? Even closer to the upswing. I would also note that this is tests. How many tests? How many tests were performed, folks? How many tests? Anyway, it's not quantified. We don't know how many tests. We just know that masks were required there, and that's how many cases occurred in Spain over that period, which is March 1st, 2020 through October 18th, 2020. There's UK cases versus masks. There's California. Looks pretty effective, doesn't it? What, indoor, outdoor? Oh, wow. Hawaii solved it. They said outdoor masks. Yeah. Smart move. And here's my favorite of all. North Dakota versus South Dakota. Yes, let me take myself off the screen. One, masks and business restrictions. The other, no masks and no business restrictions. What do you think? Did you know where this website was? swprs.org. All right. Anyway, that was a fun little aside, wasn't it? And let's go back to HuffPo. Their top story is, yikes, terrorists. The worst thing that happened since the Civil War. Oh my God. It looks like HuffPo software may have been written by CBS News. Let's get out of here. This is horrifying. How about some zerohedge.com? Don't worry, folks. Lower your blood pressure. Take a deep breath. Give yourself an enema. Do whatever it is you have to do to chill out. Because now we're going to go to a website that has some objective stuff and some subjective nonsense and some basic facts here and there. You never know. So I'm going to and head to zerohedge.com, which I don't think will get you banned from YouTube yet. So let's see what we've got. Okay. Let's take that off the screen as ads keep popping up. The Federal Open Market Committee launches $15 billion taper, reiterates inflation is transitory, no rate hike discussion. So rate hikes were discussed the last time, and now they haven't been discussed, and that itself is a signal. So if you listen to what Peter Schiff says later today, he will agree that the fact that they've stopped talking about rate hikes is an indication that the Fed is starting to capitulate, and the likelihood of actual inflation to continues. I don't know if you're aware of the Consumer Price Index and the problems within, but food and gas have been removed from the Consumer Price Index, and had they remained in, it would be at about 15% inflation in terms of your actual inflation rate, as these different items in the basket of goods are regularly changed in order to attempt to back up a certain a certain interest rate, a certain inflation rate that the Fed wants you to think it is. So the Fed is going to try to keep interest rates between 2.5 or so and 5%. And when it gets above 5%, whoops, we're going to change the items in the consumer price index. Of course, that's not the Fed directly, but the consumer price index is a lagging indicator, as there has to be a market that determines the price. And so anyway, I won't continue to get into it, but when you add more money to the money supply, each dollar becomes worth less. It's not the same thing as, it's not just, inflation isn't simply prices increasing. It's the value of the dollars decreasing. The price increase is an after effect, a lagging indicator of the decrease in value of the dollars. Basically, everybody has to guess how many dollars there are there as they keep getting printed. And yeah, let's, in fact, that's a perfect cue to head to cnbc.com/markets and see what's going on in the realm of cryptocurrency first. Major indices. Dow is marginally down. The NASDAQ is marginally up. Let's go to crypto. So we'll just take a look here at Bitcoin on Coinbase. There is a 1 year of Bitcoin. Let's look at the 1 month. There's a 1 month of Bitcoin. Up about 12 grand over that period. Up about 12 grand a Bitcoin. Next, Ethereum on the same on the Coinbase exchange. There's the 1 year of Ethereum, a little bit steeper at the top there. It is a much lower price per Ether. There it is. That's up about $1,000 per Ether over the last 1 month. It will also show stellar lumens because secret insider tip, I own some stellar lumens. We'll put up more posts about the reasoning behind this on smashomash.com/smashteam. So stellar lumen is XLM. I think it's on here. There it is. XLM, we'll look at it on Coinmetrics. And there's the 1 year of stellar lumens. This should trail the Ethereum, as it is an Ethereum-based crypto. And you can see on the 1 month, it's up marginally there, about 8 cents per stellar lumen. They're only 38 cents per stellar lumen. So let us know what you're drinking. I'm currently drinking Yingling Premium, and I've got to take a voice break. A voice break / rest. So let's head back here to the main page as I want to take a look. I'll just let this scroll. You'll see the market movers, the losers and winners there. Activision getting hammered. And let us know what Activision games you hate. Let us know if you watch The Angry Video Game Nerd. By the way, The Angry Video Game Nerd is involved in the history of my YouTube. So when I first started watching anybody a lot on YouTube, it was The Angry Video Game Nerd. I watched like all of his videos. And when a new one would come out, I would watch it almost immediately. It's what really got me watching YouTube regularly. James Rolfe originally from South Jersey, I believe, not far from Philadelphia. One of my favorite YouTubers. He certainly doesn't need our help. He is paid a lot of money. Go watch his video game reviews of bad games. They are spectacular and hilarious. There's also a feature-length film by the Angry Video Game Nerd. The YouTube channel is called smAsho. If you find smAsho, you'll find all the videos in there. That would be the right channel. That's his film house. So here's gold over the past year. You can see looking low in value in terms of the rest of the market. Similar to Stellar. There's the 1 month. Gold looking a little undervalued at $1,769 an ounce. Silver, $23.38 an ounce. There you go. There's the 1 year of silver. Looking like a bargain to me. Let us know what you think in the comments, and we will put those up again momentarily. So, one other thing. Facebook changed its name to Meta. Now, Facebook Networks, Meta Platforms Incorporated is now ticker symbol FB on the NASDAQ. That is Facebook. There's Facebook over the last year. There it is over the last month. I like the 3 month the best, as it looks the worst. A company that misleads its investors, its users, its advertisers, its value chain partners, and literally everybody who even says the word. There's probably something that you believe about it that absolutely isn't true. And I can't wait until it's all exposed. I think it's cute that Facebook's trying to hide from the liability that they've created. And I think it's a delight. Here's to Facebook and Meta. We hope you start to meta exist. Watching big tech self-destruct, folks, here at the Smash News Network, least busted name of news, isn't nutritious, but it is delicious. So let's play another track for you here. This one's called Midgetized Digitization 2. And it's from like 2001, maybe, something like that, 2000. Quite an oldie. I'm not sure if this one was ever released. It might be exclusive to the video. Who knows? We'll be back in about 3 minutes. And thanks for joining us during that commercial break. I know it wasn't all that commercial, right? Yeah, we were showing Sagittarius A star. And then, of course, some Mensa products. As we like to put our money on our designs where our mouth is. And if you find Mensa, make Earth not suck again, controversial, I find you controversial. Don't be hating on Mensa. We implore you, you the viewer, to make Earth not suck again. If the location where you are has been sucking, we are sincerely wishing, hoping, if you will, that it could not be you causing the suckage. But in any case, if you should happen to go out and do things that are good and not sucky, perhaps you will be part of the excellence that others are surrounded by. So I've been thinking up new alarm ringtones. And so what do you think about this one? Good morning, sir. It seems that it's once again time to get up. We've placed all of the debris collected last night in a single suitcase, and we await your orders. We've placed the suitcases in the trunk of the car. Would you like to leave the country, sir? I think that might be a nice ringtone. Also, sir, we've idled the helicopter for you. I know it's a long way, 15 miles to work, and it takes about 400 gallons of fuel each way. But we appreciate your adherence to the FAA's rules and not buzzing houses and barns on the way. So one of my cycling teammates, he shall remain unnamed. If you're listening, you know who you are. And we don't race together anymore. I don't think he races. And anyway, he told me a story. When he was in college, he got a pilot's license. And he would go out once he got his solo license and do things that are highly inappropriate. Like fly so close to a river that you're getting spray on the windshield. That means that, you know, you're losing some lift there because you're mixing water with air, and that's how bad things happen. The margin of error gets kind of low when you're 12 feet off of a river. And somebody saw him do it one time and knew what to do, which is take the numbers on the plane down and call the FAA and tell them what you saw, because his license might get revoked, which that's what happens. Don't screw around if you're flying aircraft, folks. It's not cool to... Anyway, you get the idea. If you are flying aircraft, we implore you to make Earth not suck again. And you can check out our links. You can find them all at smashamash.com and so on. By the way, I've been playing enemy territory. And today I was pretty useless. I played a little bit of this map. Let's see where I ranked. Oh, okay, I was actually 4th on this map. I was there a little bit shorter, almost 8 minutes. Anyway, it didn't look as bad as I thought it did. But in any case, I'm just almost in the top 250 here, folks. If you want to play, go check out et.trackbase.net. Also, fearless-assassins.com. That is the server that I play on the regs. FA Recruiting is the server that I'm regularly playing on, and you can see how popular it is. It features the world's best publicly rated players constantly. And let's see what we have here. Right there, there you go. There's Seg. I was playing with Seg just yesterday. He showed up on a video on our Twitch channel, actually. That player currently ranked 19th in the world of the publicly rated players. There's the top list. The coveted first screen on the track-based ladder. Also saw M5 today and yesterday, TwixX. Lots of those players. Oob, Ska Vintage. Shout out to Ska Vintage. Seeing those people on the regs. Yeah, so we just made a video about it. Actually, we made a video on Twitch. We'll release that in a day or two on YouTube as well. Here, I'll show you a clip. I'll give you a teaser. You can watch it now on Twitch if you like. This map is called Bremen, and it is one of my all-time favorite enemy territory maps. So let's get to a lot of action goes on in this one. But I get hung up in the doorway. Previous doorway. Quite a good anyway. See what happens on there if you like. If not, if you'd like to wait for it to show up on YouTube, it will eventually show up on YouTube. Thanks to everybody who's subscribed over there. Don't forget to tell your friends and foes, science noobs and science pros about the channel. We're also on BitChute. More exclusives coming there soon. By the way, this is an amazing paper that I haven't gotten to yet. I'm glad I'm going through my tabs here because this is an important one. The variability of the interplanetary magnetic field as a driver of electromagnetic induction in Mercury's interior. Do you see what's interesting about this? Well, if not, I'm sure that's probably pretty interesting if you're interested in geophysics at all. But talking about the magnetosphere of Mercury and the constraints of its iron core size and so on, I find these pretty interesting. So you may want to read this one. It's publicly visible, I think, here. Variability of the interplanetary magnetic field as a driver of electromagnetic induction in Mercury's interior. That was from Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, you would have seen that already. Let's bring up some solar imagery here from the Gong 2. Showing the solar magnetogram, the sun's B field, and the polar fields. You can see all of this North Pole-oriented magnetism there in between these sunspot groups. And let's put your chats up. Pardon me, I was getting behind on the chats. And thanks everybody for leaving comments. Yeah, it's a big deal, you know, big tech trying to break the internet. The internet is not going to get destroyed by big tech. I mean, while certain organizations own nearly all the world's servers, that doesn't change the fact that the internet won't die if all of those servers eat it. All I can say, folks, is have your own cloud backups. Don't necessarily trust certain entities that are not trustworthy with all of your data. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. All right, anyway. Yeah, the internet will not be broken by big tech, but big tech might be broken by the internet if it doesn't just simply start behaving like a like a reasonable organization. The names have been changed to protect the guilty. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So accountability never goes away, folks. So I guess that's maybe some good news for you. Accountability just never goes away. It eventually catches up one way or the other. That last prominence should send the stellar lumens upward. All right. Yeah, so let's continue on here. Here's what's going on with flaring. And let's get back to the news crawl. We were on Zero Hedge. And I will bring up any articles that are interesting. I'll put your chats back on the screen here momentarily as well. Geez. New Jersey governor's race still too close to call as voters punish Democrats for leftward shift. Yowzers. People are freaking out. So apparently this Brandon fellow is a NASCAR driver. And apparently everybody just is really all about this guy. So he seems like a nice fellow. You know, he won that race. Again, I still sort of feel like the crowd should have been chanting, well done, Brandon. Or like they could have been chanting like, good job, Brandon. Or you drove fast, Brandon. Or anything like that would have made sense. Because what were they encouraging him for the next week? I mean, if he's doing his victory interview with the brilliant sportscaster Vicky Chernango, or whatever her name is, please leave us a comment. Let us know what that sportscaster. What she heard was that crowd looking forward to the future with such fury that they were chanting, let's go, like as if he's got to like get home and eat a good dinner. Maybe that's what they meant. Maybe they meant like, let's go to dinner, Brandon. Maybe that's what they meant. But for whatever reason, I think they were just looking forward to the future, folks. What do you think? Here at Smash News Network, least busted name of news, we like to look forward to the future, which is why we leverage ourselves in a certain position. But for some reason, the crowd was trying to leverage Brandon for a certain position in the future. More wins, apparently. So, I mean, he just seems like a nice gentleman. And I'm glad that we cleared all of this stuff up about all this encouragement for him. I mean, I wish him all the best. I'm just haven't been really following NASCAR lately. And I mean, look, I'm not really a fan of anybody except teams that I'm on. So it's just, you just have to. Because you see, folks, being a fan means to be fanatical. And I'm really trying to be fanatical. Fanaticism is what leads to people being in cults. Have you ever heard of anything like that? Jeez. All right, so what else is exciting? Jeez. It's a bloodbath. New Jersey governor's race still too close to call. That's unbelievable. So Virginia, it looked like it was going to... Anyway, I'm not going to really make any comments about it because I don't want to. Fed chair towel tamps down taper tantrums with dovish rate drool. See that? That's what I was saying. Peter Schiff is going to be saying the same thing. Inflation's going to continue. Here's the Fed's taper implementation note. We're not going to go there. Is this the normal size? It looks like it's a different size than the size I'm used to. The size. So, stagflation? Stagflation. What do you think? Just article after article about the Fed. All I can say is in the late 90s, big tech was in charge of the NASDAQ, not interest rates. Things were hot enough that interest rates were not in charge of jack. When Rambus went up 600% in 2 weeks, 1,300% in 6 months or whatever it was, Rambus was exciting, baby. The fastest memory on the market, 667 megahertz. That was some hot chips. Though them's was some hot chips there that were at the thing where the place called the NASDAQ had the stuff called the shares of Rambus stock. So the container problem is continuing to pile up by LA, by the way. So we're going to just swing back and forth here from a supply shortage to a supply glut, and it's a supply glut, and it's all because of a lack of processing and so on. Lack of processing, logistics, etc. There's no actual shortages really of anything. It's just that you're going to have localized scarcity until everything gets to where it needs to go. It's going to take just an extraordinarily long period of time. And it all has to do with terrible policies. Terrible policies, mandates, and interference in the business cycle, which is delicate when it's not interfered with. But when you try to murder it, some parts of it die off and they have to be rebuilt. In fact, it's causing me to consider getting into logistics myself, considering some kind of maybe a part-time thing in logistics or something like that, as there is probably more than enough work to do in that realm. We'll see what happens. Oh, and by the way, if you own a business or something like that and you'd like to get on our cycling team's jerseys, drop me a line. It still is distinctly possible, depending on what the business is and so on. We have to be selective in some respects, but generally there is some advertising available on our race jerseys. I'll show you what this year's look like. So here's our current team gear. You can check the website if you like, theveloshop.net. And we're currently wearing Castelli products. Our colors are purple, black, and gold. And yeah, you could get your business theoretically on the jerseys. I think you can get it on the front, on the back, or on the pockets, depending on who you're trying to market to. Different portions of the jersey are more valuable for whatever reason. Different parts are more valuable than other parts. But yeah, that's how it works. And each year we have to submit designs and get everybody on the same page for the next year's racing and get the gear printed up for the team and so on. So yeah, drop us a line. Drop me a line. You can email me. There's all kinds of contacts. Head to smashamash.com. There's all kinds of contact information there. drop me a line if you'd like to advertise. The local cycling community is vast. Look up Trexlertown, Pennsylvania. If you don't believe me, it's one of the biggest and most lively in the world, featuring world-class racing all summer long each summer. All right, continuing on. Yeah, and shout out to my colleagues at curated.com. I'm now a cycling expert over there. If you go to the cycling portion of curated.com, you'll be able to find me as an expert. Curated.com/e/dan.nigro, actually. Curated.com/e/dan.nigro. There's even a link to a coupon on my profile page. You can save some cash if you want to buy parts. I'm into all kinds of stuff like that, helping you shop and evaluate different products and so on. We get paid a nominal fee in commission for any sales that go through us, as well as tips. Our curated experts typically make about, I think, around 20% of their total income is actually in tips, because it's a lot of effort to have access to real experts in whatever sport. So if you're into fishing, snowboarding, backpacking, all that stuff, they're experts in all those realms. I'm in the cycling realm for obvious reasons. And we've got extensive videos featuring bicycle riding on the channel. Let's see what else we can check out as far as news sites. Let's go to, hold your breath, news.google.com. Let's see what we find there. The top headline is, watch Jerome Powell speak following Fed's decision to start slowing bond purchases this month. Okay, so it is talking about slowing the bond purchases, but it's going to keep purchasing bonds. Like, that's not a particularly aggressive move. Oh, we're going to buy less bonds. Let's play a clip.
We will do it well.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Victoria Guida.
Down the pace of reductions in asset purchases if it's warranted by changes in the economic outlook. And again, if we feel like something like that's happening, then we'll be very transparent about it. We wouldn't want to surprise markets. We'll say, in light of this factor or these factors, we are considering doing this, and then we would either do it or not do it. But I'm not going to start making up examples.
Folks, by the way, that's not live. That was recorded live. That's not currently live. That was a recording. Oh, that might be live. Anyway, I don't want to keep playing the live coverage. We included it only in a small portion of the screen. So that's the top headline at Google News. Financial stuff. Over at, that's news.google.com. And if you're wondering if I ever use this as a news source, the answer is absolutely not. Let's check out the World tab. This is usually what I do when I'm like at an employer or something like that who lets me use Gmail. Oh, and I am signed in as one of my addresses. Rebels advancing in Ethiopia and atrocities on all sides. Nationwide state of emergency declared. Yes, missing 4-year-old found alive. There's a feel-good story. Australian police found 4-year-old Cleo Smith safe 18 days after she went missing. And there she is, not looking dehydrated. or missing any arms or legs. Looking pretty happy indeed. What the heck happened to her? Wandered away from the campsite. Oh, wait. She does not look shattered. Anyway. What happened to her? Did she just wander off? A vehicle was reported speeding away from the area in the dark hours of the morning. And a zipper on the flap of the tent compartment where she slept was too high for her to have reached. Forensic scientists also examined the outside of the family's home to determine whether there had been any stalking or break-in attempts. Okay. Dag. So no indication what that was all about. That story from NPR, National Public Radio. Pandemic and politics drive China's Xi Jinping's decision to avoid climate summit. Yowzers. He was delivering an entire trainload of coal to his palace. His gilded palace. Gilded in the gildedest, most golden gild. The gilden gold of golden gild gold. The gild gold of golden gild gold. This message brought to you by benshapiro.com. Pick up all your favorite merch, including more encouraging media about Let's Go Brandon. Also, check out LegalZoom or something. This message brought to you by Pepsi and Vintage Seltzer. When you don't want to use the word club soda, seltzer. It has no nutritional value. Good. Are you on a ketogenic diet? Well, check out some seltzer. Not salsa. Seltzer. You have the seltzer first, then you have the salsa. Or you have the salsa, then the seltzer? Salsa. Seltzer. Did you know that Seinfeld is now on Netflix? Yeah. Sorry about that. Sorry if I ruined your life by telling you about that. Here's a way to solve it. No, don't head to SMA. Don't head to SMA. You can type in smashamash.org. It'll redirect you to our own personal website, smashamash.com. Which, by the way, are you going to load, you son of a? Which, by the way, was created because of censorship on Facebook. Yeah. We made up a Christmas carol for 2018. What is going on? Are we out of bandwidth? Can you read me? Houston, are we coming in? Houston. Smash Contom to Major Troll. Commencing countdown, you a-hole. Grip your crotch and put your knickers right back on. This is Ground Contom to Major Troll. You seem like an a-hole. This musical interlude brought to you by the servers at smashomash.com, who we're going to send a bill soon because the Smash News Network leased Busted Name and News. Must be having some sort of intermittent interruption in our own website. That's a stunning advertisement right there. Yeah, I was just going to show you the homepage real quick. Let's cut back to the Redbubble shop. Anyway, I assure you, smAsho will be working more than fine in the coming moments while I vanish, because I was covering up part of the design for Dimension of the Year. Heck, what the heck were you thinking? You're double screwed. Have you been hurled into an ever-deepening and darkening abyss of dastardly, dim-witted douchebaggery? Have you been working to make America not suck again? See, we put words of wisdom on our products. By the way, you can find links to that at smashamash.com on the homepage as well. All right, and let's put your chats back up on the screen here. Chats now. Yes. So I'll let the chat window scroll here. Again, thanks everybody for leaving comments. I'm going to play one more track, come back to chug a beer, and then call it a day. By the way, it's been an amusing day. I had to call off work because the car didn't start. And because it was too cold. Yeah, there was frost. We put up a video showing the frost. And so I got to do a little bit of work on a car, changing out a battery and so on. Everything back to normal pretty much at this point. So let's play one more track here. This is called Figurine 2010. And this one is pretty hot. So I'm going to play some imagery of the closest star at the same time here. And go back to the SDO browse data page. And we'll show the last 3 days in 171 angstroms and colorized magnetogram. It's splentacular. So I'll be back in about 3 or 4 minutes here. Here's Figurine 2010. All right, just to close things out, and I mean close things out big time, I'm resigning. Not from YouTube, though. So my digital presence will actually increase a bit in the coming weeks and months. I'll be doing lots of things in the gig economy. So make sure you check me out on the interwebs. Tell your friends and foes about us. If you're a prepper and you don't have a bicycle in your arsenal yet, drop me a line, curated.com/e/dan.nigro. You can find my profile there. So yeah, check me out. Also, for everybody out there who's taken sips from the cock glass or from the whatever glass, there's going to be a countdown in a moment, and then a chug of whatever beverage you like. A countdown to a sip, and then a chug. It passes muster. All right, so if there's anything else you'd like to talk about in the meantime, put it in the chat. We'll put the chat there. There's the up-to-date chat. And then we will proceed to our countdown. So, whatever you're sipping, here's the moment where I start drinking things profusely. Don't worry, folks, I'm not getting drunk. I'm just drinking a beer here. And shout out to Liz Warren. Liz Warren, if you follow me on Twitter for sure. Liz Warren, yes, one of my favorite politicians. Senator Elizabeth Warren, yes. All right, so everybody prepare your souls. We hope you prepared your souls yesterday on All Souls Day. We hope you had a lovely Halloween. We hope you had a lovely All Saints Day. And we hope you had a lovely All Souls Day as well. And we hope your souls are doing fine today. So, without further ado, here's the countdown. I'll do a 5-second countdown. So everybody out there can accomplish it. I'll be taking a sip from the shot glass of the early times. So here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shazbot. That is what I have to say about that, is Shazbot. Oh. It's better than shit, or crap, or poop, or feces. Let's talk about other words we can bring back. Not just feces. There are more. Let's reflect on that. Let's don't just bring back the word malarkey. I want to bring back the word poppycock and hogwash. All right? So, let's use it in a sentence. 2 years ago, if you looked at my YouTube feed, you would go, what the hell? Why is there so much hogwash showing up in your YouTube subscription feed? And I would say, well, I was just paying attention to a lot of poppycock in order to see how the how the providers of poppycock provide or something. I don't know. Sometimes you have to get a little bit of hogwash to go with your malarkey. You got to have like a main course of poppycock and then a side of malarkey and a little bit of hogwash. You know what I mean? Like a little bit of hogwash to kind of grease up the gears there. Grease up the gears, a little bit of hogwash with your malarkey. I mean, you got to have a melange, like if you made a paella, or if you made perhaps tapas. Tapas, yeah. A bunch of saucers that have tiny amounts of something very tasty on them that make you want to buy 7,000 more. It's like the crack of appetizers. Tapas. All right. So yeah, I say we got to bring back some old-timey words. If you've got old-timey words you've got to say, I mean, let us know. I think there are a lot of them. I like to say rubes. You know, rubes is a good word for if you're doing a live stream and there are a lot of people talking out their schwanz on the comment section. Rubes is a good term that I like. You know, the peanut gallery, I think that one's lost. I vaguely remember the first time somebody said the peanut gallery, and I was like, what the hell does that mean? I was like 5th grade or something. The peanut gallery, what is that? And it is a reference to like a very specific thing, I think. Can anybody comment on the origins of the peanut gallery? By the word origins are very interesting. If you know the word origins of the weirdest words that you use, it's very helpful because you'll use those weird words in the correct context. You will not sound like a douche face. Yes, douche face. I think I made that one up in like the year 1998. Somewhere in about the middle of my mountain biking career, yeah. It was only about 3 seasons because of the getting hit by a truck and all. So yeah, what are some other stool pigeon. Yeah, that's a good one. Balderdash. Now horse feathers. That one, I don't know what that one means. And that's, folks, a lot of times you really want to read the words that you're going to say. So let's check this out. m-w.com. If you type that in, you'll find this. Actually, my favorite, I just like the way it sounds the most, is hogwash. I love hogwash. So that's what I want. Hogwash. Swill or swap. So it's actually, see, it's not to wash pigs, it's to feed them. And it's also known as nonsense or balderdash. So there you go. There's a perfect word circle for you there. Hogwash, synonymous with balderdash and nonsense. That's a great one. Let's play one more track here at the end of the video. I'm going to close out, though. I will not come back and say another word. The last word I say might be hogwash. Although I won't say any I might say the word hogwash, but I just won't have hogwash come out of my face. That's... All right, I'm going to play a really weird one. This one's called TJ-O-Rama. And that stands for trick jump, by the way. It's a reference to Wolfenstein Enemy Territory. And let me actually go the extra mile here and show you a little bit of Wolfenstein Enemy Territory while I play out the track, because it's such a good game. It's free. It doesn't require a fast PC. You should totally check it out. And we will release this in its entirety on Twitch. Well, from Twitch. I'll download this and release this on YouTube. So we'll have to leave it exclusive on Twitch for a couple days. That's incentive to go follow us over there on Twitch. And one of the things that makes this game great, one of the things that makes this game great is the trick jumping. So this server has double jump turned on. If it looks like people are floating around, well, they basically are. It's really extremely... It's Super Mario Shooter, okay? That's what it is. It's Super Mario Shooter. And man, oh man, does that look weird. But you should definitely check this one out. And again, we'll play the whole video with my commentary. I'm just going to play this track on top of it. And we'll see you later. Thanks for tuning into the stream. We'll see you next week for a similar stream or something. Also, shout out to Eugene. That was a great stream last week. Very fun. And if you haven't checked out last week's, check out last week's. I talk about being sherbet gendered. If you didn't hear about my sherbet gender status, check out the end of last week's stream. Again, we'll see you next week and regularly on the channel. This has been a YouTube Live exclusive. Here's TJ Orama. The jump again, I don't know what my problem was. I was pretty much jumping handicapped.